Well, here's that Norton Ranger back on the bike lift after today's little adventure in the floods and up and over the Black Mountain and back. And I'm happy to say that obviously I've given it a superficial wipe over because it got a little bit grubby, but not too bad at all. Everything went really well, and there was no signs of any trouble. It took it all in its stride, even through the wet stuff. Although I switched the lights off going through the water slowly because the battery on this isn't too good, and at low revs with the lights on I wanted to reduce the risks of the engine suddenly stopping in the middle of the flood water. I also found out that my boots are only waterproof up to the top of them and I got soaking wet feet, but fair dues to the bike, it kept going, and I trailed my feet along the road through the really deep stuff because I thought if anything happened that the bike did stop, I didn't want it to also, to add insult to injury, stop and maybe topple over in the water. So I'd rather have wet feet than that on my hands. It all went very well, and I've got to say the Black Mountain ride revealed to me that in spite of what people say about Norton 750s, and I know the Atlas in particular, and I've had one of them here, and even with that one I didn't notice anything too alarming, but to be fair to it, I mean, it's not rubber mounted like the Commando engine, but the bike, it wasn't vibration free, but there was nothing intrusive or off-putting about it. Nothing came loose or fell off. The clocks stayed legible and readable. Really, I've got to say that the engine is very smooth considering its reputation, because this is basically an Atlas engine, or if you like an early Commando engine. I'm told that it's got a 9:1 compression ratio and something inside it called a Norris R camshaft. Now whether that camshaft has got a longer duration than some other variants of the Norton 750 engines, I don't know, but it strikes me that there's a very, or rather late timing for the inlet valves closing, in that the fire impulses, if you like, are not particularly hard or harsh, and the engine doesn't have the sort of bottom end grunt you might expect, but it's got quite a free revving sort of nature about it, and a real sort of power band. It likes to be kept on the boil, and it's quite pleasant to ride when it's being kept on the boil. It's not shaking you to bits. It rides well, it handles well, steers well. The brakes are sort of fair to adequate. They were non-existent for a while after going through those patches of water, mind. I had to dry them out, but you'd expect that of any brakes really. Overall, a very good bike, and I would say that probably had the term adventure bike been coined years ago, this would certainly be worthy of that moniker. I like it. I think it's a really good bike, this. Very enjoyable to ride, very responsive to the throttle, sounds great, feels great. When you're on it, it actually feels like you're on a bike perhaps no larger physically than a 500. Very, very easy to ride and comfortable, and that all-important thing, enjoyable as well. And I think it's just about ready. I think I'm just about done with it. I noticed I've put it back on the bike lift just to sort of check again, see if any drips of oil appear. I had some actually from the primary chain case, very, very slight, and I managed to nip the screws up on the cover a little, crack them all up a little bit, so maybe, just maybe, that'll stop that. It really was nothing much. No sign of any leakage from anywhere else. The twin carburetors are perfectly synchronized, and they've stayed that way. The engine responds to the first little bit of throttle nice and smoothly and evenly. I don't even know what ignition it's got. I think it has probably got an electronic ignition on it. No problems with that anyway. Didn't even have to look at that at any stage. There's no smoke, no rattles, no leaks. Just a very good bike. And what a pity that these weren't offered in the UK as an alternative to what we did get, because I'm not knocking the Commando in any way, but I think I've said this before and I'll say it again, that given the choice between a Commando and this, I think I'd take this every time, I have to say. Just a fantastic bike. Other opinions may be available, but that's mine.